The greatest indication that there was some association with ancient aliens comes from the Incan religion itself.
They believed that their ancestors did not die when they died. They would go into the afterworld, but their spirit would remain and it would look over their descendants.
The calm peaks of the mountain have become the focus of an amazing discovery. A find of such importance has emerged, leaving all who find it astonished, caught up in a mystery that goes beyond imagination. These ancient guards of rock and ice, always admired for their beauty, have hidden a secret that is hard to understand. What secrets could be hidden within their towering presence, changing how we see the world? Join us as we explore these mountains, where their secrets continue to intrigue us, inviting us to uncover their mysteries. The Forbidden Chamber of Machu Picchu. Machu Picchu is a mysterious old city found on a mountain in Peru. A lot of people think it's a very special place. A long time ago in 1911, a man from America named Hiram Bingham stumbled upon it. Since then, people have discovered many interesting things there, but one of the coolest finds happened in 2010. A Frenchman named Thierry Jamon found a hidden door in the city. He was so curious about what was behind it that he called his friend David Cressy to help check it out. Cressy brought a special tool that could see through the door without opening it. What they found behind the door was amazing. They found a hidden room that was thought to be the burial place of an ancient king named Pataku, who was very important in Machu Picchu's history. They also found lots of shiny metals inside. Cressy and Jamon were super excited and wanted to open the door to see more. But the people in charge of Machu Picchu said no. They were worried that opening the door might make the whole place fall apart, so they had to stop and couldn't see what else was inside. This would leave Peru's timeless treasures exposed as we venture to Ethiopia's mountains to see the wonders carved from stone. The carved wonders of Zagwe dynasty. In Ethiopia, far from the city of Addis Ababa, there are 11 incredible buildings carved right out of the mountains. This happened a long time ago, around the 12th century. Back then, there was a king called Gebre Meskel, who was part of the Zagwe dynasty. During his time, Christians couldn't go to the Holy Land because it was too dangerous. Another king named Libella came up with an idea. He decided to build a new Holy Land right in his own backyard, and that's how these amazing rock-hewn churches were created. Unlike other buildings that are built up, these churches were made by cutting down into the rock. Some of them are still attached to the rock around them, while others stand alone. They cover a huge area and are really tall, some as big as a 4-story building. It took 24 long years to make them, and no two are exactly the same. They were made with a lot of care and skill. Today, these churches are looked after by the Ethiopian Orthodox Christian Church, which helps keep their history alive. Next, from Ethiopia's ancient churches, we find ourselves in a village where the ground shines with gold. The rush for hidden gold in Congo. In the Democratic Republic of Congo, in February 2021, a small village called Luhi found something incredible, a mountain full of gold. Nobody knows exactly how the villagers found out about it, but once the word got out, tons of people rushed there. They used simple tools to dig up the gold and then took it home to clean it. A journalist named Ahmed Al-Gaba shared a video of this, and suddenly, everyone knew about it. But this caused a problem. The government was worried that this gold rush could lead to problems, like people taking the gold without permission. Even though there was so much gold, the government decided to stop people from mining there. Still, some people kept trying to go to the mountain, hoping to get some gold for themselves. Moving from Congo's gold-laden land, let's see how the Philippines honors their past in a unique way. The mysteries of Sagada's Coffin Caves. In Sagada, a place in the Philippines, there's a unique tradition that's been around for a very long time. The Bontoc and Kankanaey tribes live there, and they have a different way of honoring their dead. Instead of burying them, they put their loved ones in coffins and hang these on the side of a cliff. They believe this keeps the dead safe from animals and helps their spirits go to heaven. In 2015, scientists found 131 of these hanging coffins hidden in caves up high. They figured out that these coffins are over 1,000 years old. But one thing still puzzles everyone. How were the people back then able to lift the coffins so high up without any modern tools? It's a mystery that remains unsolved. From hanging coffins, we shift to a massive rock in Colombia with a story of local rivalry. Guatap versus El Pinol. When you look at it from far away, you might think it's just a big mountain. But it's not. It's actually a giant rock called La Piedra del Pinol, also known as the Rock of Guatape. This huge rock sits right on the edge of Guatapa and El Pinol in Antioquia, Colombia. It's massive, sticking up over 656 feet above the land around it, making it really stand out. The rock's surface is mostly smooth, except for a big crack that goes from the top to the bottom. A long time ago, people built a staircase with 649 steps right into this crack. It looks like a huge stitch pulling the split parts of the rock together. Now, there's a really interesting story about something written on the rock. The people from the nearby town of Guatape wanted everyone to know this rock was theirs. They started to paint the town's name on the side of the rock. But they only got to write part of it before the neighbors from El Pinol saw what was happening. They didn't agree because they thought the rock was theirs too. They got so upset that they stopped the painting from being finished. All that was left was the letter G and part of a U. After the rock's tale, we explore a mysterious gate in Peru that might open to other worlds, escaping through the Incan stone door. Deep within the beautiful and mysterious mountains of Peru lies a very special place that people say is a magical door. This door, known to many as Aramu Muru or Lyra, which means the door, is believed to be a magical portal. Legends say that long ago, the Inca priests could use this door to go anywhere they wanted, whether it was somewhere else in the vast Inca Empire, or even to a completely different place on Earth. For most visitors, this door seems like a huge man-made stone structure, nothing more than a big piece of history. It's not too far from the city of Puno, located in a quiet part of the Ilava district in the Collao province, about 21 miles away. This mysterious stone portal is big and square, with each side stretching about 23 feet. In the middle of it, there's a T-shaped cut that looks like a keyhole, which is around 6 feet and 6 inches big. The sight is breathtaking, and the stories behind it are even more captivating. The story goes back to when the Spanish invaders came to the land of the Incas. There was a priest named Aramu Muru from the Monastery of the Seven Rays. He was very important because he led ceremonies to honor Inti, the sun god of the Incas. When the Spanish soldiers arrived, Aramu Muru took a very important treasure, the golden sun disk from the Sun Temple in Cusco, and ran away to keep it safe from them. He went all the way to the sacred door in the mountains near Lake Tiaca in the Juli province. There, he supposedly used the sun disk as a key to open the mystical door. Legends say he walked through this door to another world and vanished, with the door closing behind him, leaving no trace. Leaving the gates of mystery, we find a mountain in Mexico that's not what it seems. Mexico's mountain that hid an unforgettable secret. In the historic city of Puebla, Mexico, there stands a mountain that's not really a mountain at all. For years, people thought it was just part of the landscape. But there's a secret hidden beneath its surface. When the Spanish conqueror Hernán Cortés arrived in this land, he took control with a strong hand and changed everything. On top of this so-called mountain, he built a church, a symbol of his power, which still exists today. But here's the twist. This mountain was actually the world's largest pyramid, hiding in plain sight. Yes, you read that right. It's even bigger than the famous Great Pyramid of Giza in Egypt. While the Great Pyramid is huge, the base of the pyramid in Cholula, Mexico, is much wider. But because it was made of mud bricks, over many years, it got covered with grass and trees, and ended up looking more like a hill than a man-made structure. People believe that building this giant pyramid took many generations, with each new group adding their own designs and details. It's like a huge time capsule of different architectural styles and ideas, all piled into one enormous monument. Nowadays, this hidden pyramid is known all over the world for its immense size and historical value, a testament to the incredible skills of the people who built it so long ago. From Mexico's hidden pyramid, we move to uncover a map in Siberia that shows land from long ago. The secrets of the 3,000-year-old stone. Imagine finding a map so old it shows the world as it was 3,000 years ago. That's exactly what happened when the Dashka stone was discovered. This remarkable stone slab was found by archaeologists from Bashkir State University in eastern Russia on July 21, 1999. The stone was enormous and detailed, measuring 58 inches tall, 42 inches wide, and 6 inches thick. It seemed to be a precise map of Bashkira, a region in the Ural Mountains, but how it was made and how accurate it was without modern mapping tools is a mystery that baffles many. But the stone held even more secrets. Embedded in it were ancient shells, one called Nav Aops Amuni, over 500 million years old, and another called Euliphus Piarpes, over 120 million years old. These findings raise so many questions. How did these ancient shells get into a stone that's supposed to be 3,000 years old? And how did the people who made this map know such detailed geography? The Dashka stone is like a window into the past, showing us a time when the Earth was very different. But it's also a puzzle that scientists and historians are still trying to solve. How did ancient people create such an accurate map without the technology we have today? And what does it tell us about the world these people used to live in? Next, from Siberia's ancient stone, we climb to a Swiss mountain to find a castle built in secrecy. Count Kapenstein's mysterious mountain home. Once upon a time, high up on the side of a mountain in Switzerland, there was a strange and magical castle carved into the rock. This castle was so hidden and mysterious that no one today knows exactly how it came to be there. It's as if the castle was a secret that nature itself kept hidden. This enchanting place is found in a small area called Waltensburg or Vuorz. Long ago, this hidden castle was a home for a nobleman known as Count Kapenstein and his family. It seems like this count decided to have his home built high up on the mountainside, perched on a ledge of rock to keep his family safe during dangerous times. They were living in an era filled with wars and troubles, so having a hidden home made a lot of sense. But getting to this mysterious castle was no easy feat. Imagine walking on a very thin path on the side of a steep mountain with no railings to hold on to. This was the only way to reach the entrance. Once inside, what used to be a tall building with 3 floors is now a ruin. But you can still see where the beams were. Imagine the windows looking out over the valley, and picture the rooms where the family lived. They had everything from sleeping areas to a kitchen and even places to store their food and belongings. Despite their efforts to stay safe, the family and their name, Kapenstein, vanished from history soon after the castle was built. It's like they were erased by their enemies, leaving their home as a silent witness to their existence. Leaving the silent castles, we head to Norway's icy paths where ancient steppes emerge, a leap into the past with Norway's ice sandal. Let's travel to 2019, to the wild and cold mountains of Jotunheim in southern Norway. A person hiking across this tough landscape spotted something unusual sticking out of the melting snow. Curious, he went closer and found what looked like an old piece of footwear. He quickly got in touch with some archaeologist friends to examine his find. These archaeologists, part of a group called Secrets of the Ice, came and saw that it was an ancient sandal made of leather, dating back to around 300 AD. That makes it the oldest piece of footwear they've ever discovered in the ice. But here's the puzzle. What was a Roman sandal doing in the icy mountains of Norway? The cold up there is severe, and the person who wore this sandal must have added extra layers inside to keep their feet from freezing. The archaeologists think that the sandal wasn't dropped by someone struggling to survive, but rather thrown away when it got too old or worn out. From Norway's cold trails, we delve into a deep mystery in Russia's snowy mountains, the enigmatic night on the Ural slopes. Now, let's delve into one of the most perplexing mysteries in history, the story of the Dyatlov Pass incident. This all started on February 2nd, 1959, when a group of 9 skilled hikers, led by a young man named Igor Dyatlov, set off on an adventure in the Ural Mountains in western Russia. Their journey took a tragic turn when they decided to camp for the night in a place that's now known as Dyatlov Pass. That night, something caused an avalanche, and tragically, all the hikers lost their lives. But here's where it gets really strange. When people found the hikers' bodies weeks later, they discovered some very odd things. One person had bitten his own finger, another had a broken head, and one had a neck that was badly hurt. Even more horrifying, one was missing their eyes, and another their tongue. This has led to all sorts of wild guesses and theories over the years. Some people think a Yeti attacked them, others believe fierce animals might be to blame, and there are dozens of other theories too. But even after all this time, no one knows for sure what happened on that snowy night in Dyatlov Pass. From Russia's icy mystery, we go deep under a mountain in America to uncover a hidden fortress, the Cold War's mountainous shield. In a secret spot in the southwest part of Colorado Springs, hidden inside Cheyenne Mountain, lies a super-secret bunker that seems like it's straight out of a spy movie. This place, known as the Cheyenne Mountain Complex, is like no other in the world. It was dreamt up in the late 1950s, right when the Cold War was making everyone very nervous about the possibility of nuclear war. The leaders of the time wanted a secure spot that could act as a hidden command center for the Air Force Space Command, along with NORAD and the United States Northern Command. This incredible bunker was ready to go on February 6, 1967, and it's been a symbol of American ingenuity and protection ever since. Let's dive deeper into what makes this place so special. First off, it's tucked away under a massive mountain of granite, 2,000 feet of rock, to be exact. This thick layer of earth acts like a giant shield, protecting the bunker from just about any kind of attack you can imagine. Inside, there are 6 huge tunnels, each as big as a 3-story building. There's also this massive blast door that's 3.5 feet thick. It can shut tight in just 45 seconds if there's ever an emergency. But that's not all. The complex is like a little underground city. It has everything people would need to live there for months without needing anything from the outside world. On any given day, between 350 and 600 people are working inside, turning this place into a bustling community rather than just a military spot. If there were ever a nuclear disaster, this bunker would be one of the last safe places on Earth, a shelter for survivors when nowhere else is safe. After exploring underground secrets, we walk through India's dangerous mountain paths, the historical lanes of India's mountain pass. Deep in the heart of the Western Ghats, between the sandy shores of the Konkan coast and the historic town of Unar in India, there's a mountain pass that's as beautiful as it is dangerous. Long ago, back in 170 BC, during the rule of the Satavahana dynasty, this path was a busy trading route. It linked the coastal communities with the vast Deccan Plateau. Imagine merchants, a long time ago, making the treacherous trek across this pass with their elephants and donkeys, all loaded up with goods and valuable treasures. Despite the dangers, this path was bustling with activity. It got the name Nanat, which means coin pass, because it was where traders paid tolls to cross the mountains with their goods. This place wasn't just a natural pass. It quickly became a center of commerce and rest. Enterprising people saw an opportunity and built inns right into the mountain caves to give travelers a place to rest and recharge. Many of these cave-ins are still standing, a testament to the skill and ingenuity of the people back then. But there's more to this place than just commerce and travel. It's a site filled with history and spirituality. The Nanat Pass is home to some of India's oldest writings, inscriptions from the 2nd and 1st centuries BC. These writings aren't just historical records, they're spiritual, connecting Buddhist and Hindu beliefs. This shows us that the people of ancient India were deeply connected to their faiths, holding on to their religious practices even as new religions emerged. These inscriptions are a bridge to the past, showing us the rich tapestry of beliefs and the bustling life of ancient trade routes. Leaving behind India's perilous roots, we uncover a forgotten World War II story hidden by nature. World War II secrets hidden in Indian mountains. In the year 1945, a C-46 military plane from the time of World War II took off from Kunming, a city in the southern part of China. This plane was not alone. It carried 13 people with it. However, as the plane passed over the hilly area of Arunachal Pradesh, a place full of mountains and hidden dangers, something terrible happened. The weather turned bad, and the plane disappeared into the clouds and was never seen again. Even though a team of rescuers went out to look for it, they had to stop their search because the mountains were too dangerous to move through. For 77 long years, the story of this lost plane, known as the Curtiss 46 transport aircraft, was just a story people talked about, with no real proof that it ever happened. Then, in the year 2022, a brave American adventurer named Clayton Kuehls decided he was going to find this plane. He knew it was a huge risk. The mountain had a fearsome reputation. It was known for being a place where explorers could easily lose their lives. In fact, just a few years before, in 2018, 3 hunters had died from the cold, hypothermia, while trying to get across the mountain. Despite knowing all these dangers, Kuehls and his team set out, determined to find the truth. Their journey wasn't easy. They faced cold, danger, and the unknown. But their hard work paid off. After weeks of searching, they found the old plane, the C-46, lying hidden under snow on top of a mountain. But even though they found the plane, they didn't find any people. There were no signs of the 13 passengers or the crew that were supposed to be with the plane. This made the mystery even deeper. Where did these people go? This question might stay unanswered forever, adding to the legend of this mysterious journey. Moving from historical tales to ancient life, we explore where giant crocodiles once roamed in Canada, the lost giants of Canada's past. Let's go way, way back in time, 82 million years ago to be exact. Back then, the area we now know as northeastern British Columbia wasn't cold and mountainous. Instead, it was a place ruled by enormous crocodiles. Yes, you heard that right. Recent studies by archaeologists have brought to light a fascinating discovery. They've found evidence that gigantic crocodiles, much larger than any we see today, once lived in this area. Now, you might be thinking, did they find big crocodile skeletons? Interestingly, no. What they found was something different. They discovered traces left by the crocodiles as they moved through the mud of lakes and rivers long ago. These weren't just simple marks. They were detailed prints that showed even the patterns of scales on the crocodile's feet. It's like nature left us a snapshot of these massive creatures. Based on these traces, scientists have estimated that these crocodiles could have been about 40 feet long and weighed around 5 tons. Imagine that. A crocodile as long as a school bus and as heavy as an elephant. These giant reptiles were probably the kings and queens of their domain, feared by all other animals living alongside them. But even these mighty creatures couldn't escape change. Scientists think that shifts in the climate, the environment changing over millions of years, led to the disappearance of these giant crocodiles. It seems that even the strongest and biggest can't always survive when the world changes around them. This discovery not only tells us about the past, but also reminds us how everything, even giant crocodiles, is connected to the changing earth. From prehistoric giants, we travel to Jordan to explore the secrets of the ancient city of Petra, where mountains turn to palaces. A long time ago, even before your grandparents' were born, there were cities that were filled with people, markets, and beautiful buildings. Today, we can only find these cities in old stories and buried under the earth. Among them are ancient places like Pompeii in Italy, Machu Picchu in Peru, and a special one called Petra in the country of Jordan. Petra is a city like no other because it wasn't built with bricks or stones like most cities. Instead, it was carved right out of the mountains, turning the rocky cliffs into beautiful palaces and temples. The colors of these cliffs are amazing. They're red, white, pink, and even a sandy color, just like a giant painting. The people who made this city were called the Nabateans, and they were very skilled at carving and building. They started creating Petra around 300 years before Christ was born. For many years, Petra was a place where traders from different parts of the world would come to buy and sell things. It was full of life and very rich, but then something happened. We don't know if it was because of wars, changes in trade routes, or something else, but slowly, people stopped living in Petra. It became a forgotten place, hidden from the world for a very long time. But even though no one lived there anymore, Petra never lost its magic. It's like a treasure from the past that tells us stories of long ago. Because it's so special, an organization called UNESCO, which takes care of important places around the world, decided that Petra should be protected. They named it a World Heritage Site in 1985. Then, in 2007, people from all over the world voted to make Petra one of the new 7 wonders of the world. Today, Petra reminds us of the amazing things that people can create and how the past is always a part of our world. After Petra's wonders, we climb a Greek mountain where dark ancient rituals were held, the dark rituals on Zeus's hill. Let's travel back in time, way back to about 3,000 years ago in Greece. This was a time when people believed in many gods and sometimes did very strange things to make these gods happy. One of these gods was Zeus, who was one of the most important gods to the Greeks. On a mountain called Mount Lycaon, which was believed to be Zeus's birthplace, something very sad and scary happened. Scientists found the bones of a young boy there. They think that long ago people might have chosen this boy to be a sacrifice to Zeus. This means they gave him up in a ceremony, hoping Zeus would protect them. This mountain was a mysterious and scary place. People said that on Mount Lycaon, not only animals but also humans were offered to the gods. They believed that eating the meal from the sacrifice would turn them into wolves for 9 years. These stories sound like something from a spooky tale, don't they? For many years, nobody knew if these stories were true. But then, archaeologists, those are like detectives for history, found the remains of this boy next to a big stone platform used for offerings. This discovery was huge because it was the first time they found something real that matched the old stories. Leaving Greece's dark past, we face the dangers of climbing one of the deadliest mountains. Why climbers fear Annapurna. Climbing mountains is not for everyone. It's very, very risky. You have to be brave, strong, and a little bit crazy to want to climb up a high mountain. There are many mountains in the world, but one of the most dangerous is called Annapurna. It's in a country named Nepal. Annapurna isn't the tallest mountain, that's Everest, but it is extremely dangerous. More than 150 brave souls have tried to reach the top of Annapurna, but sadly, not all of them returned. The mountain is tricky. It has very steep parts, sudden avalanches, and the weather can go from sunny to stormy in no time. All of these dangers make Annapurna a very tough challenge. But even though so many climbers have lost their lives, there are still many who want to try to reach the top. They want the thrill of doing something very few can do. They want to feel alive by facing something very dangerous. From the dangerous climbs, we reach a peaceful Chinese mountain with a spiritual peak. What secrets do these mountainous treasures really hold? Are they simply legends, or do they offer clues to our planet's mysterious past? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more.